I started an international group of psychologists and we called ourselves Leermeester Consortium. I was doing work for the textile industry in Austria, and I was doing work for the Rijkswacht in Belgium, and then I met one or two people at Neuchâtel in Switzerland, and from that grew the idea of putting up a consulting practice which we called Leermeester Consortium. And I had local qualified psychologists, and then we had people in Australia, people in New Zealand, and all handpicked because we knew the people. So we set up Leermeester International as a trading name, with the company being Leermeester Consortium, and each one, like a franchise, was running its own office, but we're combining and we're exchanging information. Now, I've published very little in my life because most of the work I've done belonged to the people that I did the work for. When I start developing a certain system, personnel system, the copyright goes to South African breweries or to Rhodesia Railways, yeah, or to this, or to Old Mutual, or to Coronation. It's their system, I've developed it for them, it's not mine, I can't go and publish it. The only time I went overseas was to give, out of my doctorate, to give 2 lectures. I can't even remember what, it stands for BACIE, B-A-C-I-E. BACIE was some sort of educational setup. And what I went to talk to them about was a part of my doctorate which was thrown out as superfluous, need not be included in the final copy. Now looking back, it's quite interesting because that whole chapter dealt with a project that I completed in the mining industry, designing an interview technique of getting personal information out of people where you go through the Induna as your interpreter to the man sitting there and to pick up. It's a very laborious way of picking up, but basically measuring his attitudinal setup, which later in this country became known as verkramp verlig. And we established and worked out the correlation to show that the more verkramp, the longer it takes him to become economically active past the 50% level of assessment in the work situation. That chapter was thrown out, superfluous to because they probably at that stage, the big external examiner decided that this is to cut across whatever they were trying to do. For me to come and say that if a man has got no second thoughts about allowing his brother to marry out of the tribe, if he can eat out of the same pot with his hand, but the other one can't. No, you don't do it. No, my daughter must never marry this or that out of the tribe. Now, verkramp, he could show the linear relationship between his attitudes and the time it took him to get economically active. All I can tell you is that Stellenbosch never announced the names of the examiners. Now, my suspicion came from something Biesheuvel said. Because Biesheuvel's recommendation, mind you, he was biased my way now. I did the project, and it was a project that had great ramifications throughout the industry, not only in the gold mining industry, but generally. And the fact that I analyzed not only the selection of people with leadership ability, but all the pertaining conditions affecting the effectiveness of the man. In those days, you were a good busboy, which is your foreman in the stope or in the haulage, if after hours you prepared to come and work in my garden, wash my car, and do all the dirty work around the house over the weekend, seeing that you would otherwise just sit in the compound and drink beer. Now, if you do that, you're a good boy. You're a good busboy. Now you come and you take a man, a cold blood selection. You send him to the miner or to the shift boss. It's not his choice. So he sends him back at the end of the day and he says, this man is absolutely useless. Now we primed some of our lecturers in the training center and we say, okay, tomorrow you go down to Shorty Rousseau's haulage and you replace the man which he sent back today, which he says is a useless man. But you make sure you make such a balls up of the situation that tomorrow night he comes back and he says, take this man, I'll kill him if he comes back. Where's that one I had yesterday? He's miles better than this one. Now, we used to call that sielkunde, you see.